So we're gonna get that repaired tube back into our wheel, and to do that we're just gonna give a quick check and make sure that there's no debris on the rim. Looking pretty good. Rim tape's a little bit out of line, but it's covering all the spoke nipples, so we're pretty good. And then the easiest thing to do is just get one edge of that bead around the wheel first. This tire fits nice and easily. You can see the bead is sitting over the edge of the rim and in around the center. That gives us a little bit of space to wiggle with, and we're gonna find where our valve hole is, which is right here. And little shop tip, line up the decal with the valve hole, and you'll never forget where your valve hole is because it's marked by the decal on the tire. Then we take our tube and we put just a touch of air in it because we want a little bit of shape to the tube, but you don't want too much that'll get hard to put in. So just pump up a touch. It's got a little bit of shape. And then we plug it back into the valve and slip the edge of the tire over. Then we can just pack the tube into the tire as we work around the bike. Some people work from both sides and then finish it off at the bottom. It's up to you. I tend to work around the tube a little bit more. In and underneath. In and underneath. That's why the shape on the tube really helps. Then, all we have to do is kind of start getting that bead over the bottom and work around the tube. This is a really easy tube to get, or tire to get on. It fits nicely on the rim. I can just do it with my bare hands right until basically the end, and then I can pop my tire lever underneath here and just flip it over the edge. And our tire's back on. Make sure our valve is sticking down. I actually hold where the valve is so I can get the pump onto the tube. Lock it in place. And just run some air into it. I just always kind of try to check. I actually put a little bit of air in first so that the tube's seated. And I actually do an extra step. I do a little deflate. And then I pinch in here and make sure that there's no tube getting caught between the edge of the tire and the bead. That ensures that I don't get a pinch flat. So I'm just going to check that around the entire tire. Everything's looking good. The tube's inside. Both sides are looking great. That tube's seated really well. Now I can fill up the tire for good. And this great pump has a gauge on it. The gauge on these tires is pretty low pressure, around 55 pounds, so I can just pump up until I hit my 55 pounds of pressure. There, I'm coming up to about 50 pounds now. What are you laughing at?
What?